What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tika, and I'm back with another and I'm back with another video. This is a story time, y'all. So if y'all didn't watch my last story time, what y'all waiting for? Go watch the last story time that I posted. It should be the video before this one, and catch up. Anyways, so, and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Anyway, y'all, this story time takes place a couple years ago when my oldest son was about 5 to 6 months. He's now about to be 9 years old in 2 more months. So yeah, this was a long time ago. And also, I wanted to tell you guys, y'all probably gonna be like, dang girl, what all did you go through? But y'all, your girl been through a lot, okay? And that's why I can speak on it now, because these are real true stories that have happened to me. None of it is made up. All of it is real. And I moved past it. Like, a lot of it is traumatizing, but a lot of these stories, a lot of this stuff that I've been through, I'm past it. I'm over it. And I can speak on it because it's my story and it's something that happened to me. Anyway, so let's get into it. So, y'all, backstory. My son was about 5 months. Now, me and his dad was really young when I had him. I was 17 when I got pregnant, and I turned 18 2 weeks later. So we was really young. We didn't really know what we were really doing. We was just going day by day with the whole parenting thing. So we ended up getting our first apartment when we was like 17 years old. Well, I was 17, he had just turned 18, and then that's when we moved out of our parents, our mother's houses, and we ended up getting our own place. My very first apartment ever. And y'all, I can remember like it was yesterday. His dad was the kind of person, we're gonna give him the name, we're just gonna call him Chico because he's Spanish. So his daddy, Chico, was the kind of person, like, he was real deep in the streets. Like, he was real like hood and like deep in the streets. And I know y'all probably thinking like, dang girl, you love them hood niggas. I used to. I don't no more. I don't like hood niggas no more, because jail and just trouble, and I don't really got time for that. But anyway, so he was real hood, and like, he used to be in the streets deeply, like heavy. And also, if you guys remember, I did tell this story time a long time ago on my page, but I ended up removing it because I wanted to retell it again because it didn't really get many views. So if you heard this story time on my page already, I'm just retelling it again. So anyway, so like I was saying, his dad was real ghetto, like real hood or whatever, always in the streets, always out late night, always like smoking hella weed. And if y'all know, like, Molly's was like, if y'all know what a Molly is, Google it. It's a drug that people used to take back in the days. They probably still do take the drug. I don't know. I don't do drugs. But he used to be on Molly's real heavy, and like codeine. If you don't know what codeine is, it's like some lean. Y'all should know. Anyway, so he used to be on that stuff real heavy. Like, I'm talking about every day, all day. He always want to pop a Molly, always want to drink on lean, just always just like drugged up. And like, when we first moved into our apartment, everything was good. Like, we was cool, we was in love, you know, like, we had my son, we was really like working on being a real family. And then all of a sudden, everything just flipped. Like, he just changed within the blink of an eye. Like, he always been hood, but like, the relationship just changed. So one day, y'all, like, he used to always have like these dudes in my house. Like, it was so bad to the point to where, like, I would come home and it would be like dudes sleeping on my couch, and it'd be like weed all over the table, guns all over the table. It was just like, I felt like I was living in a trap house. Like, and it really started to irritate me, because it's like, this is not a trap house. Like, this is the house that me and my son, we lay our heads here. And when you got all this stuff going on in this house, it's going to bring attention to the police. And the nigga was always in and out of jail, which made it even worse. So it's like, you always in and out of jail. Why you even much want to bring this type of attention to our home? Like, and you got these niggas in the house, like, with their guns and their drugs, and then my baby, like, no. So we always argue about that situation, and it was an ongoing thing. So it was like, one day I had woke up and I was just like fed up, and I was just like completely over it. I was over it. I woke up and there was like 3 niggas on my couch. One nigga had a big pallet on the floor, and I'm like, you know what, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I flicked on all the lights and I made everybody get the hell up and get the hell out. I was done. And First thing he say is, "They're my homeboys. Oh, what I'm supposed to be? I'll be flawed if I kick them out. They don't got nowhere to go and blah blah blah. They can't sleep at their mama house and they girl put them out and it was just always something." At that point, I didn't give a damn. Like, I didn't care about them getting kicked out of their baby mama house. I didn't care about their mamas putting them out. I didn't care. They was finna get out because I was not finna keep on waking up and allowing this to go on. Like, I was done with it. So after I wake everybody up and make them get out of my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, I did not care. We ended up getting into it. It was like we got into the biggest fight, y'all. When I said the biggest fight, like it was very toxic. Like we used to fight each other. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he'll beat me up. No, we used to fight each other. And we got into this really big fight, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. So the next morning I woke up, I ended up packing up everything in the house because everything in the house belonged to me anyways. Like, my mama and my grandma and my aunties would gave me furniture, curtains, you know, blinds, like everything, pots and pans. You know, it was my first apartment, so my whole family gave me. His family gave us stuff too, but everything that was his, he kept that. Anyway, so I packed up everything in the house. Pots, pans, I took all the food, I took everything, and I just packed it up. I didn't like physically take it at that point. All I did was just packed it up, because in my mind I'm like, okay, if I make him think that I'm gonna leave, then maybe he'll get it together. Maybe he'll miss his family and try to make it work. So I ended up packing up everything, and I called my godmama, and I was just like, hey, can I come over there for a couple days or for a week or two, because I'm going through something over here with Chico and I'm just over it. I just need to get away, and I think we need some time apart. Now, mind y'all, I'm thinking he gonna miss us and be calling and wanting us to come back home because he gonna realize what he got, you know, that he about to get ready to lose, which was me and his son. So y'all, I ended up leaving. By this time, I did not have a car at this time, y'all. So me and my son, I had like 2 backpacks. I had my baby bag, and I had a backpack full of clothes and my phone charger, you know, everything that I needed. And I put it in the backpack, and I got on the city bus, and I went to my godmother's house. So when I get there or whatever, I didn't call him, I didn't text him none of the times that I was gone. And I didn't because I wanted to see just how long he'll go without talking to me. Like, no matter how bad, I missed him so bad, but I didn't want to show that because I wanted him to see, like, I wanted him to feel like I was done, to see if he'll fight. You know, I mean, whatever. So anyway, he never called or anything. Like, he'll probably text every blue moon and be like, oh, what Zion doing? That's my son's name. He'll be like, oh, what Zion doing? Oh, what y'all doing today? You know, like little small talk, but it was never nothing about the relationship. It was never nothing about trying to fix it or coming back home or anything in that sort. So next thing you know, y'all, so I want to say about a week or 2 go by, and I'm getting depressed. Like, I'm starting to miss him, and I'm like, damn, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, do he not care? Like, he hasn't even tried to fix the relationship. Like, is he having fun while I'm gone? Like, what's really going on? Because I'm over here snot, boogers, and tears and can't eat for 2-3 days and just feeling like I'm out of my line. And he don't even care. He all on social media living his best life. Like, so I call him, and I'm like, hey, I had told him that I was finna get ready to come over there, come back on that side of town, because my son had a WIC appointment. WIC appointment is like government assistance, you know, to help you get baby formula and stuff. So I called him like, hey, my baby got a WIC, Zion got a WIC appointment over there on that side of town, so maybe we can talk when I get there. So he was like, oh, okay, yeah, just, you know, let me know when you're on your way. I mean, we could talk. So I never told him what time I was going. All I said was, I'll be there on, you know, tomorrow, and I'll call you. He's like, okay. So I didn't call him and tell him I was on my way, because I mean, I felt like, you know I'm coming, and even if so, this is our apartment together. I don't really have to, you know, call you and tell you. Like, I just felt like it wasn't really that necessary. You feel me? Like, you know I'm coming. What I gotta call and say, hey, I'm pulling up for it. Like, I could just come to my house. It's my house too. I just left for a couple days to give us some space. So, but mind y'all, like, we had got into that big old fight before I ended up leaving. Like, before I ended up packing up all my stuff, I threw, as I was walking out to go to my godmom's house. I ended up throwing my house key at him because I'm like, you know, I was cursing him out, and I just threw the house key like, F you, I'm gone. So I didn't have my house key. So I came, it was like around like 8 o'clock in the morning, y'all, that I had pulled up to our apartment. And I was knocking on the door. He wasn't answering, but I knew that he was in the house because the way that our apartment was set up, our AC used to leak. And so because it leaked so bad, y'all, we was in like a ratchet ass apartment that had an AC unit, and it used to leak so bad, so I had to like, so we would turn it off when we wasn't home, and we would turn it on when we was home, so that, because it'll be hot. Like, we live in Florida, it's hot. So, you know, so I knew that's how he was home. And so as I'm knocking on the door, I know he in there, and he's not answering the door. So I remember the way that he used to get in. Like, when I used to lock him out the house, when he used to come in 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, he used to come in through the window. So I remember like, oh yeah, the window is broken, so I can like, you know, shake it off the hinges and like get in. So I ended up, but mind you, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm thinking maybe he just sleep, because he used to sleep real hard. So I'm like, okay, maybe he just sleep and he'll hear me knocking. So that's why I'm thinking, all right, let me just go through the window. So I'm knocking on the door, he not answering. So I slide the window off the hinges. Mind you, I caught the bus over there, and I had my baby with me, and it was hot outside. So I was knocking for like a good 15 minutes. Like, it was hot, and I got tired of knocking. So I slide the door open, and I'm like trying to peek my head in the window so that I can call his name to unlock the door or whatever. And I look over, when I peek my head in, I look over, and I see my 2 couches put together, made like a bed. And I see, and I thought I seen his homeboy on the couch with his girl, but I wasn't sure because it was dark in the living room, so I wasn't 100% sure, but I knew somebody was on that couch. So next thing you know, I'm calling his name, and I'm like, Chico, open the door. And I see him like creeping, like peeking his head out of the room, because the window's here, and then our room was like straight to the back. So I seen him like peek his head around and start creeping to the door. And so I'm like, open the door. So he come to the door, and he like got his hand on the door like this, like, you know, like this or whatever. He was like, what's up? Why you ain't call me and tell me you was coming? So I'm like, you know, like, he was trying to like stall me from coming in the house. So I'm like, what you mean call you? Like, I told you I was coming, and I mean, what do I really got to call for? Like, this, like, he was just like, nah, I ain't know you was coming. I mean, you said, you know, you was gonna let me know. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm here, move out the way, let me come in, it's hot. And he was just like, wait, I'm just saying, like, you know, just trying to like push me, like, hold on, wait. I'm like, move. So as he moved, like, he backing up, like, he didn't completely just like get out the way. He just started like backing up as I'm walking in. So like, I'm walking in, and he backing up, like acting weird. So when I finally get in the house, I look over, and I see that, like I told y'all, my couch is put together, and his homeboy girl was on my couch. So I snatched the covers off of them and told them to get the hell up and get the hell out, because this right here is the exact reason why me and my son ended up leaving the first time. And it's like, I'm gone, and you just don't get it. Like, why are they here? Like, I don't want nobody here. This is not no hotel. This is not a trap house. Like, what is there? Like, what don't you understand? So I made them get up, and I made them go. So after they getting up, like, they moving real slow because it was early in the morning. So they moving like they slow. They folding up the blanket and moving the couches back apart. So as I'm walking to the room, I see a girl on her phone in my bed, and she's like laying down like this on her phone, scrolling in the bed. So I'm like, I look at him, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And he was like, you told me you wasn't coming back. You told me you wasn't coming back. You said you was done. I didn't know you was coming back. You said you was done. And I'm like, before I knew it, y'all, before I knew it, I had lost my mind. Y'all, mind y'all, my son was still his, like, and it's so crazy because I'm not proud of this. Like, I had already, let me just get to the point. Okay. So I'm like, what the fuck? I say, who the fuck is this in my motherfucking bed? Like, excuse my language, y'all, but this is what I said. I'm like, who the fuck is this in my motherfucking bed? Like, you got me effed up. So I'm trying to go in the room where the girl is at, y'all. Because my first instinct is beat both of their ass. I don't care. Beat his ass and beat her ass. Beat anybody's ass. I don't care. Like, my mind went blank. Yes, don't get me wrong, y'all. I know it's the man's fault because he knew he didn't want to owe me loyalty. But baby girl, you knew this was a woman's house when you walked in here. You see these pictures. I never took the pictures off the wall. I never took my perfume bottles. All I did was packed up a little bit of my things and said and made him feel like I was leaving. But baby, you see that baby crib over there. Like, you seen this was a female house. Did you think twice to even ask him whose house it was? He couldn't have said his sister because do I look like his sister? Do I look like his sister? Holding his baby on this picture, hanging up in our room on our wall. Come on now. Come on now. So it was just like, I felt like at that point, everybody was gonna get their ass beat. Okay, I didn't care who it was. So I'm screaming top of my lungs. So he grabbed me. So as I'm trying to walk towards the room, mind you, I'm going berserk. Like, as soon as I seen her, I'm cursing him out. And I'm like, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. Before I know, I'm punching, I'm swinging at him. He picked me up, y'all, and I'm swinging and I'm kicking in his arms. I was going crazy. I had done bust the windows. I bust the TVs. I snatched the TV off the nightstand. I slammed it on the ground. I was tearing that house up. He wouldn't like, but the thing was, he held me until the girl walked past me to leave. He wouldn't let me get to the room where the girl was. Cause I was gonna tear her ass up and tear his ass up. I didn't care who ass I was. Everybody was gonna get their ass beat. The homeboy, them too. They lucky they got the hell out of there before I got crazy. Cause they was gonna get their ass beat too. I didn't care. So I'm in there. I'm going crazy, y'all. I'm slinging stuff around. I'm going crazy. But before I knew it, the girl was gone. Like, I didn't even much see her leave. I blanked out. All I know is he held me and I'm kicking and screaming. When he finally let me go, I'm breaking stuff. And y'all, all while my son was still sitting right there in the living room. And it was so crazy because I had told myself I will never, ever, ever allow myself to get like that again, especially around my children. Like, I will never let that happen to me again. I will never allow myself to get that crazy to where I am out of my mind. Unless it's about my kids. If it's not about my kids, I will never allow a man to take me out of my mind like that, because anything could have happened to my son, like, and that was my fault. That was my fault, because I should have, you know what I should have did? I could have did something way better than just going crazy like that, because glass was flying. I was throwing pots and pans. I was throwing everything that I can get my hands to. So before I know it, y'all, I called my mama and I'm like, Mom, he got a bitch in my fucking house. Mind you, I'm cursing and everything. And mind you, I do not curse around my mama at all. Even now to this day that I'm fully grown, almost 30 years old, I still don't curse around my mom. And so, next thing you know, my mom was like, what? Mind you, my grandma stayed across the streets from my apartments. So my mom and my grandma had done got in her car and they ended up driving over there to where I was at, because I'm on the phone screaming and I'm crying, and my son in the background screaming and crying. And my mama came over there. They hurried up and got over there. And my grandma was like going off, y'all. My grandma was a ride or die, baby. She was like, oh, you got my granddaughter fucked up. Like, she was cursing Chico out. I'm talking about from top to bottom, from A to Z. My mama was like, Tika, calm down, calm down. Look at your baby, look at your baby. You need to just relax. Hold on, just calm down. I know you mad. Calm down. But I couldn't calm down. She was like, and look at your hand. Look at your hand, y'all. I looked down. And my thumb, I don't know if y'all can see this. I don't know if y'all can see it. But my thumb was split. Y'all see that? You can look like it looked like it's been split right there. Cause when I bust the windows out the door, out the house, I bust them with my hands. And my finger went through and out and sliced me. Y'all, I was leaking everywhere and I didn't even know it. I was going so crazy. And I also ended up splitting right here on my vein, if y'all, like close to my vein, if y'all can see that. Y'all see that? So I ended up going to the hospital. I'm like, calm down, you leaking, you bleeding bad. Tika, just relax. F him, fuck that nigga, like, fuck him. You can get all your, let's go, get your shit, let's go. You finna get out of here, like, you know, mom was trying to get me to calm down and realize, like, what I just did. Like, my son right here, I'm leaking blood. I almost lost my whole fucking finger and cut my vein from going crazy over a nigga who didn't give a shit about me. Because if he did, he wouldn't have did none of that. Like, I wouldn't have been going through that. But I also got to remember, we was young. So mom was like, fuck him, get your shit, let's go. You out of here. Don't worry about him. We can go somewhere else. You can get another apartment. Da 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 da. So y'all, I took everything in that apartment and I left him with zero. Nothing. No food, nothing. I took everything out of there. The TVs, even if they was broke, I took everything. I left that house completely empty. The only thing he had in that house was that bed that he slept on and that blanket that bitch was under. That was it. He could have all that. And then like when I went to the hospital, the doctors was telling me like, girl, like telling me like I'm lucky that I didn't like cut my vein, because how deep my scars were, like it was really just that bad. And y'all, like it was so crazy. And it's a part 2 to it. I gotta tell y'all about a part 2, y'all. And I'm gonna just stop right there, and then y'all gotta like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what y'all think about this story time. If you like this story time, comment down below if you want a part 2, because it's a part 2 and it's a part 3 to this exact story time, y'all, and it get real deep and it get real juicy. So yeah, and let me think if I'm leaving anything out. I gotta remember, because it was a long time ago. I gotta make sure I'm not leaving out no important details. So yeah, I think that was it. I think that was it for that part 1. And if I forget something, I'm going to add it in part 2 so that I can refresh y'all memory a little bit. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into this story time about the time. I don't know what I'm going to title this story time yet, but just know it'll be up by tonight. And if you guys like this story time, hit me up, and I'm going to do more story times, because I got some juicy story times, y'all. I done been through a lot. I'm only 26, and I've been through a hell of a lot. For real, for real. And so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and bye.